So do you want a girl hollering at you? Like, does that ever work out? I guess here's my question.
Work out in what way?
Okay, exactly. Meaning, like, if a girl hollers at you, hey, boy, how you doing? How often are you really ending up taking that girl home versus a girl that you pursue? You understand the question? If a girl pursues you and is very local and very, very vocal and very assertive, does that ever really work out? Like, do you ever like, all right, let's go, me and you right now? Or is it like, hey, nice to meet you, holler later. I'd rather, hunt my prey.
Well,
what do you think?
Well, the first
I like how he calls it prey.
Yeah.
You want to go first, Justin?
No, fire
Okay.
away.
Well, the first thing I think about is this how she is or am I special? That's the first thing. So typically I like to be biased towards myself. I think I'm a little bit more special. I think I motivated her based on who I am and how I look. So a lot of times I'll give her the benefit of the doubt, especially if she's attractive. I'm definitely going to engage, and I trust my judgment, my ability to assess how she is, what her personality is like, and I go from there typically.
Okay. So you're like, I got so much confidence. She probably doesn't holler at anybody. It's got to be me.
Yeah.
Zaddy of the year. Hello, Shade Room. Okay. What's your tactics?
It's been my experience that high-level women don't do that.
Correct.
And I'm typically going to be trying to see a high-level woman. Unless I'm in this situation where, I'll give you a great example. I was walking home in Miami.
Can we turn Justin up, please? Thanks. Go ahead.
And I had a girl get very, very direct with me. And she was actually Colombian. And since it was 2 o'clock in the morning, and I only had 500 more feet to walk, I took her up on it. But in regards to like every day, no. Most of the time, a girl that I'm after, I'm going to have to say something to. She'll do something subtle, like 3 of my Instagram photos or something like that. Then it's on you. So I generally don't have too much interaction with women that are hitting on me. It's just good to have fun with it, laugh,
I have fun with it,
thanks girl, the whole thing,
It's almost like batting practice. It's like spring training. It's like you're not gonna end up dating the Colombian girl that's like, hey, papi, ¿qué pasa? You're like, it's almost like I made my money doing cold calling, and I'd have to role play before I even picked up the phones. All right, so hey, how you doing? I'm Justin. Hey, I'm Adam. How you doing? Can I interest you? And blah, blah, blah. You got to get warmed up.
Yeah.
So the more banter you can learn as a dude, it's like you do stand-up comedy. You do stand-up. It's like, how many random fucking open mics do you do before you actually get on to like the improv, right? I think that's what it comes down to. By the way, how about, you're not the type of girl that's approaching men. You're very confident, by the way.
I am 100% the girl who approaches men.
Wow.
But I think I've found a lot of times in situations like in Miami where I'm at a party where the women around me are just like 10 times what I've got going on, that I end up talking to men more than anybody else there because I go up and have a conversation. I'm not hollering at them. I'm engaging them, asking them what they do, or like complimenting usually, but like I approach with a smile. And then I've actually found that I've had more success where the girls are standing there in their corner on their phone, never actually meet a guy because they're not approaching them. So that's, I found, I don't like sitting and waiting around for people to approach me, because for me that feels like maybe that's not high value, but I feel like it's do a little work besides just being there looking good. Find common ground, have a conversation. If it doesn't work, fine. But I've usually found more success that way by approaching men than just waiting and hoping.
Yeah,
and
I like what you said, Amber, about you're not hollering. You're just, hey,
No,
I'm not going to sit around like a wallflower.
I'm
while girls-
asking.
Yeah.
I think men want to be asked and engaged and like talk about what they're proud of. And that's like my favorite thing to do is find out what people are passionate about. And then I think they feel my personality, energy, and I think that like makes me more attractive to them in their eyes, and the girls who are just, again, if you're sitting at a party and you're looking amazing, and they do, the girls in Miami look incredible. But if your eyes are down, your energy is in your phone or, waiting, how can somebody get a read on you and who you are?
Like, eye contact is everything.
For sure, eye contact. I mean, if you're a girl who can pull a guy across the room with just your eyes, that's impressive.
Go ahead,
It's a
Jamie. What's your
powerful-
secret?
So in college, I actually had a move, and it worked all the time. With
Jamie's
men.
got a move, y'all.
I had a move, and so it would only be with men that I had that immediate like, oh wow, like I want to talk to them.
Yeah.
And I would see them look at me at the bar, and we'd make eye contact, and maybe we went to different sides of the bar. We're still making eye contact, so I'm like, okay, they're interested. At like the end of the night, or if I wanted to talk to them before and not like ruin my night out with my friends, I would make eye contact with them, not stop, walk up to them, and I would just go to them and be like, I'm so sorry, but like you are one of the most attractive people I've ever seen. I hope you have a great night, and I would walk away.
That's your move.
Yes, and every 9 out of 10 times a dude would grab my arm as I was turning around. He'd be like, "Nope, you come here." And I a week later, I had a guy in one of my classes be like, "You came up to me and you said what you came up to me and said was the nicest thing. You looked at me and you really meant it." And I was like, "I did." And he was like, "Yeah, I'll always remember that."
Little did he know that's just your move.
It was my move, but I only did it for the people that matter.
Okay.
I think guys
matter of
really
fact-
like compliments because you don't get them that often, and I think that is something that it will stand out because if they're not just asking about what you do, but if you give them a genuine compliment, I noticed your eyes immediately and your ass in those jeans, but I'm just saying.
Jay Waller, you might
Very
want to
nice to
stand
meet
up and
you.
take a little twirl
Those
right
calves.
quick, brother.
Can you show? These jeans are tight, okay?
I
It
mean,
wasn't just-
these jeans.
Oh,
Just saying. I'm
But,
sure
like,
you
I mean,
get
that's
compliments.
thick with multiple C's at the end of it.
But,
Q,
like-
what were you going to say?
That's a life's work, man.
Last Thursday, I was at Qdoba. I went to grab some Qdoba up in Philly in a prestigious area by Villanova. And
You know
this-
all those prestigious Qdobas.
I know.
Yeah.
I love that.
So I got
That
out the car.
prestigious Mexican food.
And this girl got out the car. We got out the car at the same time. She was a little bit ahead of me, and she held the door open for me. I'm 15 feet back, and I'm like, that's an awful chivalrous gesture to
Yeah.
hold the door that long.
Now you're, hustling
so
up a little bit.
I'm like, thank you. She the way she said you're welcome. I said, oh, she's attracted to me. So I went in. I got my food. I came out. I'm going to my car. I hear her come running out. Excuse me, do you have a girlfriend? And I turn around. I'm like, nah. She's like, you are really attractive. Can I have your number?
And?
I gave it to her,
But nothing.
I
you
ain't-
didn't like it that she came up to you?
No, it was cool. I mean, she wasn't bad looking. I just didn't want to text her.
It
Well,
would
I
be
think that's where
Tuesdays
the
only.
power of the walk away.
Tuesdays only.
She missed me on the business day. So.
Yeah.
Does that make
Tuesdays
you
only.
worry that a woman who does that often to other men?
It's possible. Yes, and in her case, I got that from her.
Okay.
I picked up on that from her, so I was like, I don't really want to take
How do you
her up on
know?
this.
That's why you walk
It's,
away.
it's just my instinct. It's the way that I can just look at a woman in her voice. The way I'm like, she probably did this. She said she
You
had just
smell the
graduated.
desperation.
Yeah.
There's
Pheromones.
subtleties. There's definitely
Yeah,
subtleties.
It's definitely subtleties. There's
Yeah.
some nuance in the way they approach, the way they talk. Their behavior is
Right.
too straightforward. They're too aggressive, and it's just
Absolutely.
like you probably do this.
It's like
often.
that girl that tells you, "Oh, I never do this," the next morning. Sometimes I actually genuinely believe her. That she doesn't, and then sometimes I don't.
Yep.
And it's off the subtleties of the interaction. And going back to what you said, I think that the way that you do it is completely different than the way that we were talking about in the beginning.
Okay.
I think that's a very healthy way to do it. Asking them, having a normal adult a conversation. He was talking about very aggressive.
Gotcha.
And so I think doing it with class in that way, it is actually not a problem at all. In fact, it is quite attractive because it shows that you can have an intelligent conversation with someone. And I think that that's very, very important for any kind of if I can't connect with you intellectually, I really don't want to sleep with you anyway.
Yeah.
I would say somewhere around 28 to 30, that started to change for me. So I think that you're doing it correctly, and that is a completely different place than how that conversation started with
Got it.
a girl hollering at you in public and being loud about it.
Oh, that's what you mean. Literally hollering.
Oh, I mean literally.
I
Like
thought you
I'll be
just-
walking through a store and a black girl will be like, "Damn!" Like, yeah, yeah. And look, and it proves
That's
a point.
a very aggressive
And it
move.
proves a point directly because you had that thought about my ass and those jeans way back in there, but you didn't say
You
anything.
subtly sprinkled
Black
it.
women say what white women think.
Wow.
I'm telling
That's
you.
how this whole thing started. I'm like, how did we get down
Let
this
me
path?
tie it back
I
in.
like that,
A
though.
black girl would have said it on point.
And it all
I would've
started
walked
with the
in,
thickness of them jeans.
I would have walked in. She would have been like, and it would have been like she would have said it right
Let
away.
you know up front.
right
Direct.
away. And you would have never
I
said
love
it had we
that.
not talked about it.
No, I wait and then weaponize it like
Yeah.
a true white woman.
Like a true white woman.